Hi guys, back to our usual starting theme song and whatnot. This is going to be a continuation of J213, a fluid situation. But before we get there, this is Tuesday night. I'm scheduling this episode to start for Saturday morning at 8 a.m. around there because I have a early morning fan base. But before we start, this is Tuesday night. It's supposed to be my game night. My opponent tells me, "Oh, my neck hurts. I have to take a break from." From the computer. I'm fine, buddy, don't worry about it. We'll start next week. Here we are, Bounding Fire Productions. Somehow I joined their site. I don't know how. Question about ITR 15. The SSR stipulate that 4 buildings are factories. Check. And that rooftops are in effect for factories. Check. So how does one get to a rooftop using a rooftop access point? Cool. What are rooftop access points? A. Printed staircases. None of the 4 buildings mentioned has a printed staircase. The hexes with a road hexide and hexes with a road hexide. The SLRB also states that absent either of those, some other hex must be stipulated as being a rooftop access point. The problem is here. The building below has no road hexide, and there is no alternate access point access point mentioned in the SSR for that particular building. Actually, for that particular building, there isn't, but there are 2 others that there are, and I kind of used a different factory symbol to designate which ones are which. At no time did I put a symbol between 2 hexes. Now, it seems to have uh, made over 21 comments this post on Facebook on the Bounding Fire Productions, but here's my reply. What this difference does it make a lot? I plan to rubble the rooftop access points in any case, because by SSR we're each allowed to rubble at least 2 points. There won't be a building standing after the Wehrmacht gets through with the scenario. Now on with the show. Be bold and beautiful, guys. This is where we left off at the end of turn. Let me just go down memory lane here. 4A. No, this is supposed to be 3A. Okay, so 3A, now it's going to be 3B. So 3B is Russian turn 3. Roll it over to rally phase, and let's take a look at our. Um, and we're fighting really for CVP and buildings. And so far, it's a time match, and the Russians seem to be winning because the Russians start with assumed control of all the buildings in question. All right, so we minimize that. Let's go down the checklist. Bear with me, give me a moment. I'll bring up the checklist. And by magic here, it appears the essential advanced sequence of play by the late Jim McLeod. And you can download it from the Texas ASL site. So, set up offboard reinforcements, none. Wind change, let's do that. And bring this off to the side. As you can see, I am my perky self because right now I am drinking Earl Grey tea with Splenda, of course. And I'm pretty sure I'm not having any snacks because I'm pretty sure I just finished a plate of spaghetti. Up here in Quebec, we call it spaghetti chinois, which is made with spaghetti, soya sauce, and I had leftover steak and some leftovers veg in it. Kids eat it up like crazy. Except my eldest Mikey. Mikey doesn't like meat. He eats everything else, but he doesn't like meat. All right. So no offboard reinforcements, wind change. Okay, recombine good order half squads. It's the Russian player. Keep the red dice here so we can remind ourselves not to move the other folks. Okay, and let's click on this button to see which units are broken. Since it's a Russian player turn, and this guy's not stacked with a leader, we'll do a soft rally here. He needs 8 or less. And he makes it. That makes a bit of a difference. Break, unbreak. Here, This fellow needs a 4, 5 for the terrain, 6 or less. Does not make it, but the DM comes off temporarily. And here, he's not under DM, so he needs a 9 or less. And he makes it. They're back at it. Okay. And up here, what do we got there? Oh, he's under DM. His DM leaves temporarily, I hope. And he is disrupted. That's a bad thing. Okay. Probably broken units may claim wall advantage. Whoever has wall advantage already has claimed it. And these guys automatically get it, more or less. This fellow is, ooh, he's something. He actually captured a German light machine gun. All right, let's go to prep. So prep, he can't apply his leadership DRM and can only fire that heavy at half firepower. And at half firepower it would be a 2, and there are really no good targets you can fire at. And I'm considering these Kubo wagons not to be hindrances. So a 2 up 3, and he can cower because he is an elite. Um, and the only time you can transfer a support weapon is during rally phase. Let's get rid of the broken thingies. We're past that. All right. Um, let's save him for last. Let's fire these guys here, which would be a 12 up 3 from here to there. Oh, wait a second here. This guy here is a better target. Yep, let's do that. Let's bring up the leader first and foremost. Let's draw a line of sight. Clear 4x range. And that's a 12 up 1. That's a better shot. Okay, 12 up 1 using the LMGs. Let's see what happens. 9 on 12. Oh, going back to the rooftop thingamajiggy. This is where owning journals is an asset. And you might think I'm joking about blowing up those factories. I'm not. And if I have demo charges um, in my OB, just look at what it says here in that advanced nuggets number 2. I know they actually pronounce nuggets, but I call them nuggets. Okay, so that is page 14. A alpha 23.6, a DC thrown from 2 or more levels higher than the target location doesn't affect the thrower's location unless it rubbles the lower level when thrown to the ground level of the same building hex. Note that a berserk unit may throw a DC. So what does that mean? I plan to go berserk and throw DCs up, and then maybe falling rubble might apply. Oh well. Kesewasura. All right, so we were looking at the charts. What happened to my charts? Let's use this thingamajiggy. And it was up 1. We said 9 on the 12th table. 9 on the 12th table. Come on, George, get your act together. So we rolled actually an 8, and we had a 1 for the hedge modifier. 12 up 1 is a 9. 9. It's a normal morale check. Okay. So normal here would be an 8. We rolled his son. He passes now. It's a normal, so that guy needs a 9. And makes a 10. 1 more than he needed. Break. Plus he activated my, he is allowing me a sand check. It's a 2, a nice small one. Direction and distance. 5 and 3. 1, 2, 3. He's closer, so it hits him and pins him. And I did not get rate. So he prep fire. He will fire here a 6 up 1 to there. Okay. Nothing, and he breaks the machine gun, completely annihilates it because it's a captured weapon. Okay. This fellow is fine, and he can't move. And does he have a good target? He doesn't. A 2 up 3 and he doesn't cower. Let's figure it out. Nope. And that's the end of that. Prep fire. Movement. I don't care to move him right away because he'll get shot up by these guys. So I'll declare that there is no more movement. Defensive fire. All right, these boys are going to fire back to there. So that would be a 12. No, it's more than that. So 8 for the 6.58 and the LMG. Mix it at 12 with the other 4.47 and 16 with the full complement of people here. 16 up 2, I get across to there. Another check. Another sign check. 16. 16 fire table. Roll the 3. Plus 2 makes it a 5. So 5 on the 16 is a 3 check plus a sign check. Um, a 3 check. There it is. Okay. Ordinarily, his morale is a 9. He needs a 5 or less. Breaks. That settles that. Loses raw advantage. Prep for nothing. And sign check. They final fired. They did not get rate on the LMG because the LMG rate of fire is 1. Okay, sign check for the Russian. Not this time. These guys roll fire group and roll a 8 up 1 there. 5 on the 6 on the 8 is, I think, a 1 check. Let's double check. 6 on the 8 table is a 1 check. So it needs to roll 7 or less. He rolled an 11. Their SAM is 5, so their ELR is 5, so they just broke. And they final fired. Too bad they can't advance the fire. Was I able to use this guy? Yeah, but I didn't. Okay. No other fire. Do I want to fire these guys here? Uh, His sprint, so it would be a 6 up 4. No thanks. Do I want to fire these guys there? Yeah, 8 up 2. Here's another 8 up 2. Nope, nothing. And they final fired. Advancing fire, none. Let's go straight to route and clean up the board. Prep and the fire. So this fellow here is 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away from this guy. If he goes here, he's fine. He still doesn't see him. That's 1, 2, 3 to there. And move the units that are not under DM above the DM counter there, like that. Okay. This fellow, his route location is actually here, but he can ignore that location, I suppose, because he can get interdicted there. So he'll go uh, 1, 2, 3, whoops, 3, 4, 5 to there with the leader. Let's have some team. I just realized you can't see my shots. We quickly corrected that, and I'm going to use the online charts for reference for how I determine the outcome of each combat. Okay, so route phase is over, advance phase. Actually, this guy has to route. He doesn't have to route. He's not in open ground, but he should, like that, and put that squad on top. He's there. We route it. Let's clear the moves and go to advance phase. Um, so that's there. Notice he does not yet have the HMG in his possession. Here, um, we're going to advance one unit out of the stack so we don't put our eggs in one basket. That's the purpose of not stacking. When it's appropriate not to stack, and when it is appropriate to stack, and if you want to hint as to when it is appropriate to stack, listen to my interview with Carlo Guerra. If I pronounced his last name correctly, hey, give me a hand, like applause. And he kind of said, don't stack, don't stack, don't stack. But if you want to move your forces up at a to meet the scenario deadlines, you got to stack. So did we advance? Yep, we gave up some territory here, but I think the Germans still have their uh, work cut out for them. Close combat, none, and never forget concealment gain, if any, um, if any. And I think this fellow here cannot conceal because these guys see him. Uh, you can also deny uh, if you can deny a lost check and let them conceal at times because you don't want them to find out if they do have line of sight until they actually fire. In which case, by then, you probably have enough time to withdraw, temporarily skulk back, and so on. All right, so now what do we do? There is no concealment gain. Make sure we remove our moves and our prep uh, pins and do an incremental save. And let's now actually go to rally phase of the German player, turn 4. Okay, and this is where broken units exist. Go down the checklist. There we go. No offboard reinforcements. Check for wind change. Put that little reminder here. Nothing. Recombine good order half squads. Nope. Attempt to recover support weapons. Both players. So he will attempt to recover the heavy. Gets it. And hangs onto it for dear life. Good stuff. Um, Recombine good order half squads. Attempt to recover support weapons. Deploy squads. No. Repair and transfer support weapons and guns. Nope. He cannot self-rally, but he can do a regular rally. So ordinarily it needs a 9, 5 for being under DM, 6 for terrain, and 7 or less with the leadership DRM. Rally, 7 or less. Nope, gets an 8, but the DM pops off. Now up here, it's a regular self-rally, so it's a 5 or less. Nope, DM comes off. And up here, he needs a 9, 10 for the first one. So the first squad needs a 10 or less. Makes it. Second squad needs a 6 or less. 4 because he's under DM, 5 because of the terrain, and 6 because of the Lucia theorem. That's not a self-value. I definitely need my red charts. Well, maybe I don't. Let's see now. Hit about it. DR follows any original 2 MC or rally DR. All right. So number 1, he is Russian. Add 2. Number 2, he is elite. -1. It was broken. That's another +1. So it's a net +2 on my 2d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's battle hardening and hero creation. Hmm. You cannot battle harden, but it can go fanatic and unbreak him. And we have a little hero. So we go to the counter tray, lose at the end, get the counter tray out here, go to the allied OB, get a single man counter, and we're going to name him, what do we have here? Popov, Ivanov, Bukov, a Popov, or Azipov. Let's call him Azipov. Name, Azipov. There you go. Put him there. This guy broke last turn. I don't think he made it. No, I didn't. Those guys, I'm not sure he made it either. Oh well. Rallies are over? Yeah. We didn't forget to pick up um, the heavy. We repaired everything we could. Wall advantage. This guy can claim wall advantage at this point, but he has it automatically because there's no tem. So we're pretty good to go. Let's go to uh, prep fire for the um, Russian player. Um, no, the German player. It's turn 1, turn 4A. Oh, there we go. See, this is why I have this little dice here. Remind myself where the heck I'm doing. Well, this guy repossessed a heavy. Now he can fire full firepower and let down a fire lane in this direction if he so desires. Alternatively, he can keep rate of fire and swing that thing around and annihilate everybody. Like Smoke Exponent is only 2. He didn't make it back into the battle. Is my goose cooked? Not really. So we do have to prep fire to some extent. The extent being we got here a 8 plus 8 makes 16, 16 up 2 again, and we'll see what we can do against that dude. Let's go in there, and I'm sure you're going to see the dice roll. 16 up 2, here it comes. 12 on the 16. I like those charts, they're clear. 12 on the 16, guys. Look at that, missed by 1. There are trials and tribulations that this game gives you, and no rate. All right, now we'll see whose goose is cooked. These guys have no um, these guys have no line of sight to them anymore. Uh, I could conceivably roll from here to there to DM this guy. What other choice do I have? Oh, let's do it. What the heck? Um, do I really want to do that? Not before I resolve this attack. And we're saying these things are not hindrances. Uh, I can't fire the Panzerschreck at him, but I can do an 8 up to there. No rate. There's no. So I got a 8 on the 8, which is a normal, right there. 8 or less. And he pins. That's about it. And he prep fired. Attacking this position without this guy here is almost suicidal. And at point blank fire, you're better off flanking this position than attacking it headlong. Now going into um, there is suicidal and not really worth it. It's just going to probably cause some sort of casualties. So the question is, do we want to commit suicide? Declaring assault moves to there. So he's pinned. Is a 10, halved is a 5, goes to a 4 down 1. Here comes a 4 down 1, and he doesn't have rate. That is a complete miss, and he first fired. And there is 2 residuals in there. So now we're going to go assault move and assault move, no further fire, and then here, assault move. This fellow can fire. It's not open ground to him, so it is a 6 up 1, nothing. And he will fire at 6 up 2, 7 plus 2 is 9 on the 6, which is, I believe, nothing. Just to double check. Missed by 1. So he first fired. He's scot-free. He can final fire there, and it's half doubled and half again. So it'd be a 2 uh, even. No, 2 down 1, because he doesn't have wall advantage. 5 on the 2, I believe, is something. Normal. Have to roll 7 or less. And he makes it. And he final fired. No use putting the residuals because I'm done for now. So let's go to defensive fire, which I don't believe I have any more left. So let's go now to advanced fire. So he'll roll a 4 up 2. 8 on the 4 is nothing. These guys will fire group, and they have 2, 4, 2, 4, 6 not using the light against him, up 2. 5 on the 6, plus the Russian sand. 5 on the 6 table is a 1 check. Russian player needs a 6 or less. A 1 check just pins him. He's already pinned. Um, Russian sign, nothing. So the advance fired. I'm not even going to put a counter on them because we'll go right to route phase. Remove all residuals. Prep and def fire. Good. Route. Prep. Where's the prep? Yeah, there. There's one unit that. Okay. There is no broken units anymore on the board, except the ones that are not under DM. Yeah. Okay. So route phase is over. Advance phase. We clean up the moves. Here we go. I can't believe I did that. And here, now they're in close combat. These boys will go here. These boys will go there. And these boys will go here and claim law advantage. I think they can, but anywho, we'll see what happens. All right, this is 4A. So we have one more turn. Um, I think my goose is cooked here as the German player. Anywho, let's resolve this. There is no ambush because they're out in the open, so it's 1-1. German player turned first, so 1-1, 5 or less. It's 1-1 for the German and 1-2 for the Russians because they're pinned. All right, so 5 or less for the German. Nope. And let's look at these charts here. 1-2 is 4 or less. For the Russian. Nope, they're locked in melee. And this dude has a wall advantage. This dude can call a wall advantage. And they all moved. Who can claim? Um, who can claim concealment? I say he will, but let's take a line of sight check to see if he can make it. And it's blocked. Okay, so he conceals. Everybody else is visible to someone or another. Okay, so that was in fact 4A. Close combat is over, and we only have one German player turn left. So we did score some initial successes here, but we'll see what we can do. All right, so let's save. Oh, all right, let's move on to 4B, Russian rally phase. Let's go down the checklist. Okay, start off board move. Wind change. Gusts. I guess I gotta get a gust counter. Info, nope, here. I guess unit, nope, info, other, weather, and the gusts. So that only lasts for this turn. We got to do a wind direction die roll, and so 1 is the R1, 5, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. clockwise and clockwise. Okay. Um, we combine good order half squads. Nope. And it's the Russian player turn. So here we are again. Let's click on this button. We got gusts. We got a unit here that's disrupted. This guy didn't break, he pinned, as far as I know. He could have made a mistake. He got himself in a melee. He's no longer pinned. Should have removed pins last turn. And let's try and rally that dude here. 10 for being in rally terrain and 11 for being with Mueller. Anything but a 12. Got it. For a second there, I thought I was going to get a 12. Let's break him. Unbreak him. There you go. This fellow needs a 9. That's a 10. That's a 10. Russian player turn. This guy's up. This guy is literally surrounded. Oh, wow. Literally surrounded. Or about to be. And it's the German player. All right. No, the Russian player. Russian player. Okay. But I should have DM'd him? Well, technically he is adjacent to these guys. Although they're not in good order. Err on the side of caution. It's 4B. We kind of finished rally. Let's go to prep. That's a wooden building. That's a stone wall. So what are we going to do? We got 6, 7 firepower factors there. So what's going to happen is fanatic unit and the hero are going to fire against there. So that is 5 doubled because um, the hero has a 1 firepower factor. Makes it a 10. Uh, we'll be firing on the 8 table, 8 up 1 because Azipov can apply a -1 to the dice roll. Yeah, okay. 8 up 1. Here it comes. 6 on the 8. And it should be a 1 check. I should know that off by heart for crying out loud. Here it is. Here it is. Nope. Here it is. 6 on the 8 is a 1 check. All right. 1 check against these guys. Needs a 6 or less. Breaks. Okay. And the leader with the squad and the LMG are going to fire there. Now, I cannot see why this would not be a hindrance. It's fair enough. We have a -1 leadership DRM. He does have wall advantage, and he's still a hindrance. So -1 +1 +2 for wall advantage. So it would be a 6 up 2 against the guys in the open. 6 up 2. Breaks the LMG, B11, no effect. and they all prep fired. This dude is in melee. These guys will fire an 8 up 4 against this dude. A coward out of existence. Prep and prep. Let's roll it to movement phase. These guys are going to prep, they didn't prep. It's the Russian player turn. Good catch, George. Okay. So 12, 3 to there. From here to there. Let's do it. Still nothing. They prep hard. Darn it. Okay. Defensive fire. Typically what sometimes we do is fire into the melee hex, but we won't. So here's my 16 stack, 16, 3 against them. 8 plus 3, 9, 10, 11 on the 16 table. 11 on the 16 table. This is a pentash check. So Azipov first, then the leader, or the leader first. He's alright. Azipov, he pins, and the two, one squad, right? Two squads. Fanatic passes, and the last squad with the LMG pins. And they final fired. This guy is disabled. 4 up 3, up 4, ain't gonna happen. Okay. Now they can fire an 8 up 3 to there. 10 ain't gonna happen. I'm not even gonna bother putting a final fire because we're going to go to advancing fire, and there isn't any. Let's go to route phase, clean up the board. Route phase, he's going to route back like this. I don't think there's anybody that can interdict him. 1, 2, 3 to there. Oh yeah, it's not his phase. Not his phase. This fellow can route back to there. Advance phase, let's get rid of nothing. Let's get rid of the moves. Okay, and one dude is pinned, but the Fanatic unit and Azipov are going to go there, believe it or not. And that's all they're going to do. Close combat, now we have a true one-to-one Russian player first, and the German player. So the German player half squads. Because we needed a 5. Still melee. And now we can remove all pins and see who can claim concealment. I don't think anybody can. Okay. And do an incremental save of 4B. Advance our counter to turn 5. And I think at this juncture, we're just going to do a half a player turn, the German only, and see how this thing evolves. Yeah, because at this point we saw that the two forces clashed face to face, and what has transpired, I think, ultimately looks like we look at the casualty bin. Sometimes it looks like Vassal is not very responsive. I don't know why. Anyway, we'll look at the casualty bin a bit later. Let's go down our essential sequence of play. I think we can safely say there's a dice roll, the gusts go away. Okay, I have the Brokies on. And what does the essential sequence of play say? Wind change, recombine good order half squads? Nope. Attempt to recover support weapons and guns? Nope. Hmm. Deploy squads? Nah. Rally broken units. We're going to attempt to rally this dude here. He needs a 4 or less. Nope. He loses DM. And there's no other brokies here. He has, we should have repaired weapons here first, and let's see if we can repair it. Hey, he repaired it. And here, we need a 5 or less. So, he's wounded. Wound check. He's still alive. And now the DM comes off. There comes the boxcars when you least expect it. Okay, we've done the best we could with rallies. Now let's go to prep fire. Get rid of these broken counters, and we'll prep fire him against them, which is probably not going to be very uh, much of a difference. But 8 up 2, 5 on the 8, 5 on the 8. Let's take a look at that. I think that's a 2 check. Uh, 5 on the 8 is a 2 check. So the hero needs a 7 or less, and so does the fanatic unit. 2 sevens. Let's see. Hero first. They passed with flying colors. Sand check. Nothing. He prep fired. Okay, in this case here, um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep fire only the 658 um, and his light, not the 447s. Now, um, or actually, the other way around. I'm going to prep fire the the I'm going to prep fire the two 447s, but not the 658 because he has a he has assault fire. It's 1945. All right. So 8 double is 16 up 2. Here it comes. The cower to an 8, no, to a 12, uh, and a 12 on a 12 is absolutely nothing. Yeah, they would have missed with a 16 as well. Okay. So my reasoning was a 16 up 2 shot is pretty good, and now move these guys and assault fire there. Since it was my turn, I think I did everything I could. All right. So the best I can muster is one or two buildings. We'll play it out to the end and see what we can do, but I'm not going to do anything silly because rushing this position is crazy. So let's just move it forward and see what we can do. These guys will assault move here under the AFB. They did not claim. Oh, wow. They did not claim wall advantage, so he can have wall advantage. So the assault moved to there. They have either the uh, hindrance or the wall. They'll take the wall, and they will go at 12 up one, 8 on the 12, 8 on the 12 is a one check. So he needs 7 or less, and they break, and that's pretty much the game, guys. They break. They have nowhere to route. Here we have a 2-1. Um, they first fired. That's pretty much the game. I raised a white flag here. Not this flag, by the way. Nope. They never surrendered. They went in exile in Egypt. Let's say they fought from October 1942 until the end of March of 1943 and never surrendered. Greece got punished for it, and the government went in exile in Egypt. So all's good. Um, but the Wehrmacht here has surrendered. Um, doesn't look good at all for the Germans here. It is 1945, March 1945, on the brink of surrender. And, you have two OBs that clash with a high morale of 8. And I hope I played this correctly, that being that this building is fair game as a setup location for the Russians because it is adjacent to the um, to that road. So I have to call it a Russian victory. And if I look at the casualty bin, it's pretty even, but the it's pretty even. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not too sure if I have to count for the victory locations the other buildings that are assumed to be under Russian control. So if we read the victory conditions one more time, the Germans win at game end by amassing more VP than the Russians, which are earned as follows. CVP are rewarded normally and control of each hex west of row L. So the Germans did not get um, any buildings west of hex row L. The Russians defended um, their location pretty well. Additionally, Germans earned 2 VPs for each capture of a vehicle. Um, so perhaps in this case, the Germans did win, because if you take into effect into the fact that they have 6 CVP, they have 7 CVP, plus technically they captured this unit. Um, looks like it is a nice little Pyrrhic victory for the Germans by a couple of points. There you go. Anyway, like I said before, there's no hard feelings with Alain. There's it's always great to play with him. Although I think I hate to say this, but the bounding fire scenarios are a bit weird and strange, to say the least, especially into the rubble. Um, but I'm grateful that he gives me time to play with him every Tuesday night. Yeah, he's a swell fellow. well sound and well rounded. I hope his wife watches this video. And yeah, great scenario. It's part two. Um, Definitely something worth playing again, and hopefully with a live opponent, because you always learn new things from live opponents, whereas um, being your own worst enemy kind of from time to time sucks. With that said, guys, thank you for watching my channel. It's still nearly an hour into this match, and it's uh, pretty awesome playing this game and having fun. Take care and have a great weekend. Roll low.